what would you say, in your expert opinion, is the best potato for farmers to be planting, or is in highest demand?
Well, to start with, potatoes have different uses. And there are those that can be semi-processed, there are those that are specific to processing. And depending on the company, for example, the crisping and chips, they prefer the Marquis or the Dutch Robin. And there is another one called Mantua. When it comes to chips and table, meaning the likes of Mukimo and what have you, they prefer the other local varieties. But still, Shangi is good for chips, although the sugar levels are a bit high, and then the absorption of oil is high. So I don't have a specific variety that I can recommend, but the few that I've mentioned are good if the farmer decides to follow the right production method.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, you wanted to say something. You had mentioned about Mzizi being a startup, but at the same time, you've also mentioned a community of close to 15,000 farmers. So that's really good reception. But how was the initial reception? Because I'm thinking people are very stuck in their ways. They have systems in place that sometimes work for them, and there's what is familiar to them. So for you to come to them and say, hey, I have a better system for you and this is how it works. How was the initial reception to Mzizi?
One thing, we work with serious people. Like, we need farmers to pull up their socks. You can't call me to your farm to tell me, maybe I have this problem, but I already recommended you to do soil analysis and you've not done it. So what we focus with mostly when it comes to farmers and reception of our product. Of course, I mentioned the app is not yet in the market. It's going to the market in 2 months, but we have other things that we are using to communicate with the farmers, like the community now. What happens mostly is we work with farmer groups, organized farmer groups, the producer organizations, the cooperatives and what have you, that are organized, and they know we meet on this day and we talk business. So that is how we've been doing it. Like, we identify maybe producer organizations in a certain county, maybe Nyandarua, maybe Nakuru, Bomet. And then after that, we organize or call for events and training. And then after that, we train. And then whoever is willing to do business and get mentored, because partly the farmer benefits mostly from mentorship most of the time. If you're willing to go that further step as a group, as an individual, we take you through it. But mostly we focus on the serious farmers who are willing to do farming is not a way of life, but business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, when you're going to pitch yourself to somebody, or when you want to provide your services or solutions to someone who is in need, they want to know, what have you done, what qualifies you, and what knowledge do you have? So did you have a background in either farming or IT, or how exactly did you equip yourself to provide this information and solutions to others?
Well, I have a degree in agriculture. To be specific, I did animal production. That is what I majored in after maybe some years. But of course, due to, I had a problem with my chest when it came to premixes. So I had to shift on the part of crop production. Now that is how I found myself in potato production. But mostly it's because I have loved farming since I was a small person. And I've also grown in farming areas. Yeah.
Okay. I think briefly we had mentioned about collaborations with other people, but could you please elaborate the different companies or people or foundations that you collaborate with? Because it's one thing to have all of this data, and it's one thing to have all of this information, but for you to build a community, you need to work with a lot of people to actually make this, you know, like real-time information working in the real-time market. So who do you collaborate with?
First of all, we're working with National Potato Council of Kenya closely, and we are also working with the International Center of Potato, CIP, and they are majorly mentor us into this. But also on the other side, we have people like Yelda. Yelda is a Dutch company, but based in Kenya. They empowers, how can I put it? We do joint training.